Well, welcome back, folks. We have second verse, same as the first, or this may be the 8,000th verse, same as the first. The pandemic we're seeing is naturally having people ask if there will be societal breakdown and how to avoid it or how to respond to it. And they're jumping to the same old trope over and over. Before we dive in, please remember to subscribe, turn on notifications so, like this video that is not on a normal schedule, you know when it posts, as well as to get you part of the giveaway at 500, 1,000, and 1,500 subscribers. That said, let's go on and dive right in. The tired old trope that a lot of these people are going to is red flag laws. And they go to the same thing every time. Red flag laws would have prevented all these mass shootings. Well, no, it wouldn't have. The Columbine shooting, they stole their guns. Nicholas Cruz at Parkland, the medical system in Florida failed that young man. He should have been committed involuntarily long before he ever even thought about doing what he did. The El Paso shooter, they say his mother called the police. Well, she didn't call because she thought he was a danger. She hated guns. And this man was of legal age to own the AK he owned. She called police to complain that he had bought it against her wishes. He is an adult. He doesn't have to obey her. They all ultimately proved to be dangers. And no one is going to be able to predict what happens. Look at Sutherland Springs. Dishonorably discharged from the Air Force, that man should never have been allowed to purchase a weapon. Yet it was not reported to NICS. He lied on the background check and thus was sold his weapon. Another man who had the same weapon stopped him. The problem with red flag laws is that they deny you of rights without any of the processes that are required to do so being observed. You see, the rights you have under the Constitution can only be taken away from you if you are charged, tried, and convicted of certain crimes. If you're charged with writing a bad $20 check, you're not going to lose your rights. You're going to pay a fine. If you're charged with DWI, probably going to lose your driver's license. That's not a right. You get 3 strikes, you're going to go to jail, and you're going to become a prohibited possessor. That's because that is the process. Red flag laws break that. They deprive you of your 2nd, 4th, and 14th Amendments without any representation, without you even knowing what's going on, until cops show up at your door telling you hand over your guns. Of course, the second, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the safety and security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I know that one and I know the first. I don't know the rest as well as I used to, so I'll read them. The fourth, the right of the people to be secure in their homes, to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So, the person complaining about you must know your home address, particularly describe you, and each item to be seized. They can't say, I think they have guns. And here's their name. Violation of the 4th, right there. Violation of the 14th. I'm not going to read the entire thing because it's rather long, but it sums it up nicely as far as this goes in the first bit. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. This is basically saying you have to be charged. Then you have to go to court and stand trial. They can't show up at your door and say, we want your guns, and then you can go to your trial later. The 14th is also the fallacy of the sovereign citizen crap. It doesn't mean that you can just say, I don't have to follow the laws. It literally says that Texas can't say, our laws are more lenient on Texans than Oklahomans. No, can't do that. And there have been, I know of at least 2 deaths because cops show up and say, give up your guns, and people don't like it, and they get killed. So they were deprived of life without due process. Now, I'm not an attorney. Coleon Noir is, and as are the people at Texas U.S. Law Shield, who I am a member of, and I trust them. I don't trust people like Kamala Harris, who admits she's a gun owner but wants you disarmed. Dianne Feinstein, who admits that she illegally carried a gun because she had to walk through a bad area when she was just starting out and working in California. I don't trust Shannon Watts of Moms Demand or Evertown because she is constantly surrounded by heavily armed guards, as are de Blasio, Bloomberg, Booker, Warren, Biden, Newsom, Beto. All of them are protected 24/7 by men with guns, and they want you to give them up. They're trying it even now as they demand you not take the medication that doctors are saying saves lives, that you wait until they have a vaccine, while they lie about COVID-19 deaths, and while they demand you stay home so you run out of supplies, and so people who were less prepared than you then try to break into your home and you have no means to defend yourself, so that when you're murdered by them, they'll say it's a COVID-19 death. And then come September and October, they will twist every word they can and blame Donald Trump for their own actions and their own failures and demand power. Make no mistake, people. Red flag laws, all this crap they're pushing, it's the same thing on different application that we saw in Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Communist China, Communist Cuba, that we're seeing right now play out in Venezuela. These are the moves of tyrants, moving to subjugate a people. And in the scope of human history, this is the first time a nation has enshrined the right to keep and bear arms being of the people, so that they can't just march in, disarm everyone, shove you into cattle cars, and send you off to where they want you to be. I don't know. It's not going to end well. I personally want it to end differently than the way it's looking, but there's an old saying: while you pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Then there's the other: if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I haven't told God my plans. He knows them. He's laughing at them. I pray for the best, but I'm prepared for the worst. That's the only advice I can give to anyone. I've talked long enough about this. I know I get passionate and I get riled up about things, but that's because they are very important issues to me. I would ask, as I always do, that you remain civil in the comments, that you not resort to childish name-calling and insulting and so on. If anyone that I've called out, such as in this case Shannon Watts or Biden or Booker or Warren, Harris, Feinstein, or any of the others show up, I will be very bluntly honest with them. And I will laugh as my attorneys, as I do have several that I can call, make them defend their stance of, I want this person in prison for making me mad. The rest of us can remain civil, like adults, and have a discussion. Until next time, make sure that you have liked and shared the video to expand the conversation, that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you're aware of all content. Please also remember, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, and if you can't stay home, be careful. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.